Apply pressure from every angle, you feel me? Yeah, you know, attack move. Never fold, man. Nah, never fold, never quit, yeah. Keep going, like, yeah. Now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they finna feel me. I try to keep it cool, but niggas always act a fool. So now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they gotta feel me, yeah. Now they finna feel me. I try to keep it cool, but niggas always act a fool. So now they gotta, yeah, I smoke that thing. Tryna get M's in the bank, fuck what they think. Knock a nigga whole mouth out. Come side me, top break, throw hands like Tank. Knock it out the park like Hank. I've been doing them planks, what you got on my drink? I've been trying to keep my sane. Humanity so lame, fuck you and your gang. Speaking on the dead man's name.
SKOL VIKES, here we go. Down at the levee, we going fishing at the levee. You know it, I know it. Welcome Nolan Teasley in the building, man. Here we go. SKOL VIKES. Will he build a dynasty? I repeat, will he build a dynasty? Let's get it.
Everyone, great to be with you all. And thank you all for being here. When we set out to find the next general manager of the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, Marky Wolf. Oh, Marky Wolf in the building, huh? Marky speaking, Marky speaking. What do you have to say today, Mark Wolf? Did you find your guy? Did you finally find your guy? Here we go.
Vikings, we were looking for someone with a strong football acumen and a clear vision of team building. Someone who appreciates and understands our culture and history, is an effective communicator and consensus builder, and is respected across the NFL. There is no question Nolan Teasley fits each of these criteria, and we are thrilled to add someone of his caliber to our organization.
So once again, Mark Wolf, do you feel comfortable with this hire? Are you satiated with this hire? Do you feel comfortable with Nolan Teasley leading you guys forward all the way? Let's get it. You know, that was Mark Wolf's big thing, allegedly, with Kwesi. They felt very uncomfortable with Kwesi as far as the decisions he made, etc. So let's see what Nolan Teasley brings to the table. And will he build a dynasty? I repeat, will he build a dynasty, baby? For real. Let's get it.
Nolan brings a tremendous football background in the role and a proven track record of success over the past 13 seasons with the Seahawks. Under the tutelage of John Schneider, Nolan was a part of 9 playoff teams, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 championships. He has a strong understanding of talent evaluation at both the collegiate and professional levels, is adept at building a consistently competitive roster, and brings a disciplined, process-driven approach to this job. He understands schematics and player traits at a high level, and that knowledge quickly earns him credibility with each coaching staff. What really impressed us in our discussions with Nolan and with people around the league was his wide range of experiences. We have a high level of respect for John Schneider, and John put Nolan in a position to increase responsibilities in every aspect of football operations and allowed him to be a key voice in all areas of roster building. That experience, paired with Nolan's confident but humble presence, stood out throughout this search. Ultimately, this was an extensive process that brought us multiple candidates we believe will be future general managers in the NFL, as well as a strong internal candidate in Rob Brzezinski. Rob is the consummate professional. For more than 25 years,
shout out Rob Brzezinski. He did a phenomenal job with the draft. Once again, shout out Rob Brzezinski, the way he orchestrated this draft, first draft ever, the way he identified talent, etc. Not just the draft, though, the moves he made all offseason, free agency, bringing in solid guys, some backup, a solid backup in Vandermark, a solid potential starter in James Pierre. But once again, shout out, much respect, salute to Rob Brzezinski, for real. SKOL VIKES. Here we go.
He has demonstrated his character and leadership, and no one cares about the Minnesota Vikings more than Rob. His institutional knowledge and experience remain invaluable, and he will be critical to our future success. Putting Nolan together with Rob and Kevin gives us three strong leaders with complementary skill sets, and we're confident.
See, and right there, he just told you, he basically just admitted it. It will be communication. It will be collaboration. It's no problem if the communication is real good, if it's a real relationship there, a real bond. It's no problem as long as everyone is on the same accord. Man sharpen man, iron sharpen iron. You know, that's a great room as far as football acumen, unless it should be. And you throw Flores in the mix here or there. Oh, yeah, bitch, yeah, man. That's great communication all across the board. But the main thing is, will they really be on the same accord? Or will it be just some trumped up fake relationship, fake brotherhood, etc.? Or will it be really real, genuine passion and love for the game and a real brotherhood communicating at the highest level, coming together and building the best team possible? We shall see. I repeat, we shall see. We got in the building, man. Kyra in the building, Kyron Lawson, what up, big dog? SKOL VIKES. Heavy, here we go. He said, this GM gonna be good. I totally agree, Kyron. I totally agree, Kyron, for real. I feel like you hire anybody. If the Vikings were going to hire anybody out of the candidates, he probably was the best option. Has the credentials, been around John Schneider for years, understands what it takes to put a team together, not only a team, not only a playoff team, right, but a Super Bowl caliber, Super Bowl winning team. So definitely the credentials are there, baby, no cap. Now it's just about developing, growing, and growing. Him, KOC, Rob, all working together, like I said before, being on the same accord and building a real roster, man, that can be successful for years to come. Got in the building, bro. Here we go. Holding in the building, my brother holding in the building. What up, big dog? SKOL VIKES, man. Here we go, man. Holding in the building early today. Here we go. Yeah, man. Let's get it, man. Hey, let me know, Holden, how you feel about Teasley, baby? How you feel about Teasley for real? You know? Will Teasley make the real change? I repeat, will Teasley make the real change that is needed? And will they let Teasley operate and move how he wants to move? That's a big question right there as well. Here we go. Let's get it. Back to it.
Confident that this is the best outcome for the Minnesota Vikings. I want to thank Turnkey ZRG along with Andrew Miller and Kevin O'Connell for assisting our ownership group through this process. There is no question we improved as an organization. Nolan and Morgan, we are so proud to welcome you and your children to the Vikings family and to the state of Minnesota. We're confident you will love becoming part of this community. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce the next general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, Nolan Teasley.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's go, man. Let's go. SKOL VIKES. Let's go, baby.
1/8 plus 1/8 equals 1/4. 1/2 is bigger than 1/3, and 1/3 is bigger than 1/4.
Well, you know, I gotta clap it up for him too. Gotta clap it up for the man as well. Here we go. For real, man. Let's go. 1 second. Let's get back to it. You know, like I said before I dive back in, this is the new era within the new era, like I've been saying for months. You know, your GM gets fired abruptly. You have to make a change. You don't find a GM. You don't look for a GM during the draft time. You believe, put your faith and trust in Rob Brzezinski. He turns out, he gives you a great draft. Then boom, on top of that, you hire Nolan Teasley, coming from a Super Bowl winning organization. Shit, being under the best GM in the game right now in John Schneider. So it could definitely be a win-win. But at the end of the day, him, KOC, Rob Brzezinski have to work together and build a best roster, bro. They got to have a certain connection, a certain chemistry. Can't be like Quasi and O'Connell faking the phone, huh? Rick Spillman, Mike Zimmer faking the phone, huh? No, mate, for real. They got to have a real relationship, a real bond. Yeah, bro. Period. Put their brains together, their minds together, and create a phenomenal team. Will it happen? We shall see. Here we go. Get back to it.
Good morning. It's going to take a minute. This is amazing. Let's start by thanking the staff for being here, members of the media. I just want you to know that I'm excited to be working with you moving forward into the future, and I look forward to meeting and getting to know each one of you on a personal level. Thank you to Mark Wilf, to Ziggy Wilf, to the Wilf family for providing me this opportunity. Thank you to Kevin O'Connell. Thank you to Andrew Miller for providing me this opportunity. I cannot wait to get to work, and I'm looking forward to moving forward into the future with you guys. I want to thank the Seahawks organization and John Schneider for preparing me for this opportunity. And they did that by allowing me to see high caliber leadership throughout the building on a day-to-day basis. And I was raised in this league by seeing it done the right way. I want to thank my wife, Morgan, who's here today. My rock, I love you. I'd like to take a moment to tell my 4 boys how much I love them. They are not here today, otherwise our youngest Nash would have already made his presence known, but I want them to know how much I love them. It was always going to take...
Okay, kind of sound like Bane, huh? You hear me? Here we go, man. Let's get it.
It was always going to take a special opportunity to leave a special place in Seattle. And as I progressed through this process, it became very clear that the Minnesota Vikings were just that. They were that opportunity. And it's because of a strong leadership who's in ownership, whose reputation is obvious, their commitment to supporting their people, providing the resources needed to compete and ultimately win championships.
Now we can look at that in different ways, of course, but as far as supporting their people, hell yeah, you damn right. I mean, that's what the Wolves do. I mean, they go to the furthest extent. They overpay. They kept players too long, kept coaches too long. So they are very loyal to a certain extent to their coaches, players, etc., even if they shouldn't be. But he's absolutely correct right there. Now, has it been strictly about winning for the Wolves, or really has it been about asses in a seat, sock it to his pockets? That's it. That's all, folks. That's all that matters. But definitely a great opportunity for him, no way around it. And I'm sure the Wolves will give him leeway like they've given other GMs leeway. I guess you can question Quasi, but shit, Quasi was there for what he had 4 failed drafts. Kept him around, made some bad moves during free agency, kept him around still. So yeah, he will definitely get a fair chance, a chance to make his mark, put an imprint on this organization and make history potentially, But as far as leadership, some aspects of leadership you definitely have to question. No way around it. Here we go.
To have a head coach the caliber of Kevin O'Connell, who is an elevator, he's a leader of men. He believes in supporting people and building culture. This is a premier coaching staff under Kevin that has been built.
No, we talk about Kevin. He wants to say premier. Cool. We can say premier. That's all right. I understand he has to say the right things right now. But has KLC been premier? No. Has he been excellent? Hell no. Has he always been a great leader of men? Hell no. Look at the way they're doing McCarthy right now. Yeah, look at the way things are going with McCarthy so far. Still a lot of questions about KLC, a lot for KLC to prove, definitely. Definitely, baby, for real. So we talk about great leadership from KO, beg to differ. The way he's handled McCarthy, beg to differ. The lack of effort he's put in with McCarthy, man. The way he's changed his tune about his quarterback. So it's a lot to be questioned about KOC. So let's not forget that aspect of it. Like I say, I understand he has to be correct, be politically correct per se right now. You know? Let's go, bro. But we know, you know it, I know it. A lot of questions about KOC for real.
In the National Football League. Rob Brzezinski being here is an incredible asset. He's the ultimate team player. And Rob, I want you to know I cannot wait to work with you and learn from you as we move forward into the future. The roster, it's obvious it's a strong nucleus of talent on both sides of the ball. They've won a lot of football games here in the last 4 years, including 5 in a row to end last season. And I look forward to being a part of that and building toward, more opportunity and more wins in the future. And last but certainly not least, it's a passionate fan base with a lot of history. And I look forward to building upon the fact that US Bank Stadium is already one of the toughest environments to play in sport. And it's because of those fans. And so the work starts now. I want everybody to know that I'm committed to building a deep understanding of this roster in its entirety. That I'm going to build relationships, strong relationships with the coaching staff, with the players, and with the people within this organization.
That right there is much needed. Strong relationships, strong bonds. We've seen for years fake relationship and fake bonds. Matter of fact, as far as the Minnesota Vikings football team and organization goes, maybe we'll finally see people be held accountable. Not the same old people or certain ones. Maybe everybody in the damn building. But I expect Nolan Teasley to come in and definitely make some changes, do it his way. We've heard that before, though. The crazy way was the wrong way. Nolan Teasley, different animal, different experience, real winner, proven assistant GM, etc. But he comes from a real winning pedigree. He has all the tools to be successful, all the football IQ to be successful. He should be able to identify players, especially, I'm sure, whatever scouting team he brings in, they're going to be able to identify players as well at the highest level. So I'm expecting great things. I repeat, great things from Nolan Teasley. Here we go. Let's get it. I have no problem with the teamwork, this and that, working as a group, working together. But they must understand he has the final say. He is the Super Bowl winner. He understands. He's been around Super Bowl winners, period. The Vikings haven't done that yet. The Wills haven't won a Super Bowl yet. KOC, he was with the Rams. He wasn't even play calling. It counts, but it doesn't count per se. He was on the squad, yeah. He was a coach, cool. But we all know, I repeat, we all know what his role really was. So they must understand how much he knows about the game, about building a team in general, and step way back. Step aside, my dog. Step aside, KOC. Let him really work. If it's a team effort, collaboration, communication, all right, bet, cool. But we must understand who has the final say. Here we go. Let's get it.
We're going to develop a shared language that drives how we evaluate and how we operate in working toward building a champion on a day-to-day basis. And most importantly, I'm going to provide the support system that Kevin O'Connell needs to bring his vision for this team to life. Our goals are simple, and we're going to build the deepest, most competitive roster possible so that we can be at our best in December and January and February, and ultimately work toward winning the Super Bowl that this fan base deserves. Thank you.
This is the perfect pair for your iPhone. and it replaces 3 different chargers. So when I travel, I don't pack extra cables, I don't have to pack extra bricks. This covers my phone, my watch, and anything USB type.
Shout out Nolan Teasley once again. Here we go.
Nolan to your right. Chris Long from KSTP Television. On a scale of rebuild to right there, where do you see this roster right now?
Nice question. Matter of fact, great question from him. Let's see how the media does right here as well, man. Will they come with it? Will they come forward? Will they start asking some real questions, some brutal questions, maybe? Like they attack JJ McCarthy, like they attack JJ McCarthy. Oh man, you know it. I know it. The way they hit him with questions left and right, boom, boom, bam, bam, throwing combinations damn near. Wanting him to say the wrong thing, assuming he said the wrong thing, type shit. But I wonder if the media will attack this man right now, Nolan Teasley and Mark Wolf, the way they attack and go after JJ McCarthy. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, I believe we're ready to compete right now because they've been competitive. I think I spoke to 9 wins last year, 5 in a row, and we look forward to, you know, continuing that consistency.
So once again, we're hearing it again. It's about competing, never a rebuild. They're competing, never a rebuild. So the question is, how does being a competitive team look? Is it playoffs one and done? Or is it really making a playoff run? Now, Nolan Teasley had to come here for a reason. If he didn't believe in a roster, want to be part of the roster building program in Minnesota, he wouldn't have came, I guarantee you that. No cap. But what exactly will he do differently than Quasi per se? I'm sure it starts with the draft. I expect much better drafts, more improved drafts moving forward. I expect him to build off the momentum, on the momentum that Rob Brzezinski left in the building heavy. But at the end of the day, bro, they are in competition mode. Even on paper, right? The roster is still elite, still good, etc. Playoff caliber, some may argue, but I say, yeah. Bitch, yeah, for real. Now, depending on the quarterback situation, how that goes, depending on how KOC coaches this year, time will tell for sure. But understand, he just said it. They are in competitive mode. No rebuild, no tear it down, break it down, build it up. Nothing, Jack. No cap. Straight rebuild, straight competitive mode. Not rebuild mode, but competitive mode. Here we go. But right away, off the rip, I ain't gonna cap. I like the questions they're coming with. But I want them to just come with it. You know? Cut the GM, cut Teasley, cut Mark Wolf, no slack. Unload on him, unload on them like they do on JJ McCarthy every time. Let's get back to it, bro. Here we go.
Hi, Nolan. Welcome to Minnesota. Matthew Collar from Purple Insider. I'm curious, just with your role under John Schneider, there was a lot of stuff that was written on the website about what you did in Seattle's front office. Part of it, though, obviously the scouting side, also working with the analytics department. I'm just curious about how you guys were able to marry those things together in Seattle and how that worked with your role overseeing those different departments.
Specifically analytics and scouting?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I look at it, and I've said this multiple times, the way that we look at it is that we're going to be guided by evaluation. We're going to be anchored by data. And then the final piece, kind of as we work through our 3 pillars of acquisition and evaluation, is that what's really important is the coach's vision for the player. And that's in simplest terms, how we're going to operate.
Mike was muted. Let me run it back. Basically saying that we're going to evaluate at the highest level and really understand the personnel we have, understand our personnel from top to bottom. You know, as far as scouting goes, I'm sure he'll probably bring in a whole different scouting team. Could you blame him? I mean, could you blame him, baby? For real? But they're gonna grade each other off of execution, evaluation, man, real evaluations. No bullshit, no bullshit. Period. But the fact that he said, hey, we're going to understand and have a real relationship with these players, the best relationship possible. That's a great start right there. Now, of course, certain things he has to say, certain things he probably can't or won't say. But hey, at the end of the day, I hope the main goal is Super Bowl. Winning pedigree, Super Bowl winner. He understands the game, understands how to build a Super Bowl caliber team. Here we go, man. Get back to it.
Nolan, Dave Campbell with the Associated Press. A lot of talk about consensus building being, part of the search process, a priority for the Vikings. What's a good example of how you did that in Seattle, maybe when you had different people who weren't agreeing on a certain topic, and what did you learn about how the art of that in a football operations?
Yeah, I just think that's why you're anchored by process, why you have a process, so that everybody kind of.
Let me run that back one more again. Nice camera work by the man as well. Here we go. Look at the Viking trying to get right a little bit. I want to run that question back, hear it again.
Vision for the player. And that's the
matter of fact, run it back a little bit more, hear the full sequence.
Chris, just with your role under John Schneider, there was a lot of stuff that was written on the website about what you did in Seattle's front office. Part of it, though, obviously the scouting side, also working with the analytics department. I'm just curious about how you guys were able to marry those things together in Seattle and how that worked with your role overseeing those different departments.
specifically analytics and scouting.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I look at it, and I've said this multiple times, the way that we look at it is that we're going to be guided by evaluation. We're going to be anchored by data. And then the final piece, kind of as we work through our 3 pillars of acquisition and evaluation, is that what's really important is the coach's vision for the player. And that's in simplest terms, how we're going to operate.
Nolan, Dave Campbell with the Associated Press. A lot of talk about consensus building being, part of the search process, a priority for the Vikings. What's a good example of how you did that in Seattle, maybe when you had different people who weren't agreeing on a certain topic, and what did you learn about how the art of that in a football operations?
Yeah, I just think that's why you're anchored by process, why you have a process, so that everybody kind of understands the foundation of it all. And if we have disagreements, we just go back to the beginning, we start over, and we work together until we have that consensus. And ultimately, if you don't build that at decision-making time, then that's part of our process, right? Is that we're not moving forward with that particular acquisition.
All about the process for sure, Like I said earlier, they must all be on the same accord. They must all be trying to reach the same goal at the end of the day. KOC specifically must get out of his ego, but he's the GM for a reason. The Wolves hired him for a reason, right? Right. So let him work and do his job. But the process, like he said, working together, even in disagreements, coming back to the table, come back to the drawing board and figure it out. Let's go, bro. Now, some things he just gonna say, period. First interview, first presser. He wants to sound good, but hey, will he stick to his word? Does he really mean what he says? Unlike Quasi, yeah, here we go. And you can say unlike KOC as well as far as right now goes. I mean, shit, the last 4 years, really. Let's get it.
Yeah, Mark, over here, Alec Lewis of The Athletic. Mark, what have you learned about past structures of decision-making that was important in how you guys constructed this present structure?
Well, I think the number one thing is you just have to have strong leaders. And we're blessed with many strong leaders in this building. We have Coach O'Connell, we have Rob Brzezinski, and that's what we saw here in Nolan. And I think structure is structure, but
He talks about strong leaders. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, You know, KOC isn't a strong leader, isn't a good leader, but the way he's done McCarthy, I can't give him that off the rip. He has a lot more to do. And the fact he's been here for 4 years and hasn't won one playoff game, hey, man, you questioned his leadership for sure. But I really questioned it this year with this whole JJ McCarthy situation. Now he switched up on this man. You know, damn near lied on this man. Went from calling him the future of the organization, etc., to, hey, we need a new quarterback ASAP. I mean, even midway through the season, it was questions, hey, has he lost his team? Is the team done with him? Etc., etc. So as far as being a strong leader and being a great leader of men, KLC has a lot to prove for sure. On and off the field, matter of fact. But you question his leadership more and more now because of the way he did or is doing McCarthy. Here we go, man. Let's get it. And then you say this here, the Wilfs are the owners, so the Wilfs should be leaders as well. Have they been strong leaders? He's talking about what he wants out of a GM and this and that, what he learned about other GMs. Have the Wilfs been strong leaders? Matter of fact, as owners, you're damn near always in New Jersey. So who's being a strong leader here and there on a daily basis? So maybe the Wilfs should question themselves first and say, hey, are they putting in full effort to really make this a successful Super Bowl winning organization? Or could they care less at all about making history? Are they cool with the Vikings just being continuing, no Super Bowl, first round exits, etc.? As long as money comes, money goes, money comes, money goes. Fans in the seats, beer in hand, hot dog in hand, chips and dip, etc., baby. Do they even care? You know it. I know it. So Wilfs, Mark Wilf, you and Ziggy, have you been the strongest leaders possible? Period. Here we go, man. Let's get it.
You know, the GM obviously reports to ownership, the coach reports to ownership, but in the end, you want to have the top people. And Nolan, between his high football acumen, being around, and again, John and the Seattle organization, allowing Nolan to be participating in so many pieces of the organization has just made him to be a really strong leader, and he stood out that way. And I think it's a great fit here.
Bring in your AT&T, T-Mobile, Spectrum, or Xfinity bill for a better deal at Verizon.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. Kevin Seifert from ESPN to your left over here. Hey there. Just following up on that, in terms of the leadership and that, just really bluntly, like who's in charge of football operations now moving forward?
Nolan is, as far as he's the general manager of the organization. He has final say on the roster.
First off, that was a pretty good and direct question. A really aggressive question. And guess what? I like it. Who is the director? Who is the leader? Who is the head guy? Who's making the decisions? Bottom line. You know, is this GM going to have full reign, free reign to move how he wants to move? He can say, yeah, now, of course. But does he really mean it? Is it really true? Here we go, man. Let's see. Get back to it.
53, but in the end, he's going to lean heavily, and he'll say it himself, on our head coach, obviously, and people like Rob Brzezinski and the.
So we're talking about he has full control, but he's going to lean heavy on his head coach and Rob. And is that a problem? No. Shouldn't be a problem, as long as they understand it is his team, not his team per se, but he is the GM. It is his roster to build. He can make it look however he wants it to look, bro. Period. However he wants it to look, he has the final say. But great question from the media off the rip. But him working with KOC, working with Rob, I could care less. Matter of fact, I think I like it. I might like it a lot. I mean, hell, though, what Rob just did in the drafts, shit, that helps him out, period. Then you got old boy in the building as well, Matt from Seattle, who used to be in Seattle's business. So they're bringing guys, GMs, roster builders, etc., you know, who know how to build a real roster, man, who have great pedigree, a great history, a real winner mentality, winning record. So come on, bro. Great move right here. Great move. Really feel that way. Let's get it, bro. Here we go.
Building that have deep experience and skill sets that are complementary. So I think we have it all put together in a great way. And I'm confident that this is a great move for the organization, a great move for the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey guys, Judd Zolgad from SKOL North. Off that point, Mark, too, what do you feel in this situation separates this from potentially some of the past collaboration attempts that didn't go as well as was planned when those hires were made?
Again, it's a highly competitive environment, and we're always striving to be the best, and that's what we're.
Hold up, run that back.
On our head coach, obviously, and people like Rob Brzezinski in the building that have deep experience and skill sets that are complementary. So I think we have it all put together in a great way, and I'm confident that this is a great move for the organization, a great move for the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey guys, Judd Zolgad from SKOL North. Off that point, Mark, too, what do you feel in this situation separates this from potentially some of the past collaboration attempts that didn't go as well as was planned when those hires were made?
Hopefully, a pretty solid Corsten by Judd right there. No cap. Could have been better, but pretty solid. Hopefully, the main thing is knowing how to build a team, knowing how to draft. That was Kwesi's main issue. Kwesi was the last GM, etc. Hopefully, real relationships going on, real brotherhoods going on. Those are the two main things right there. Can you draft? And is the brotherhood, is the love real? Like Kwesi said it was, like O'Connell portrayed it to be. Same with Mike, same with Zimmer and Rick. I mean, Rick Spillman and Mike Zimmer, heavy. But those are the two main questions, dog, right there. You can answer that question quickly and swiftly. Can Nolan Teasley draft? And him coming from Seattle, the roster they built quickly and swiftly, I'm pretty sure he can. Oh, I'm pretty sure he can. Wouldn't you be shocked if he couldn't or if he didn't? Question is, can he build a dynasty? Yeah. Is he at that level now? Is he ready to take that next step and elevate, even surpass John Schneider? Maybe. Huh? You know it. I know it. Can he surpass John Schneider? Maybe, baby. For real. Here we go, man. Let's get back to it. But that's an easy answer. Easy answer right there. Can you draft and build a team for years to come? And will you have a real good relationship with your head coach, etc.? Let's get it. Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a highly competitive environment, and we're always striving to be the best, and that's what we're trying to bring in here, pieces that fit. So again, we appreciate Kevin being part of the process in selecting a general manager. We haven't had that type of iteration here, and I think that was a big part of it, their dialogue and communication. And again, we have great pieces in this building, but Nolan, like I said, just has stood out so many ways through.
He kind of dodged the Corsten right there, or is kind of dodging the Corsten as well. But hey, that's Mark Wolf. That's Mark Wolf. He kind of answering around the Corsten, not really attacking and not answering it clearly right. But it's all good, bro. It's all good. But hey, Mark Wolf, hey, it's simple, bro. Very simple. Can this new GM draft, and can he build a real relationship, have a positive relationship with his head coach, with Rob, etc.? Here we go. Let's get to it. That boy going around now.
Through the interview process, through all the references, through our process, we spoke to the John Schneider and the coach there, and the whole organization, and around the league as well. And the marks were high, and nothing through our process different from that. So I think it all fits well together. Each process stands on its own, and obviously the difference is going to be we need to get where we need to get, and that's winning championships. So that's what our goal always is.
So Will, just to be clear here too, Kevin, Nolan, and Rob all report directly to you, or how's that going to trickle down?
No, Nolan, the general manager, reports to ownership as well as the head coach. Rob is part of the football operations and football organization that's under Nolan. So again, in the end, that's the structure. That's the way it is. If it comes to structure, we've got a problem. Okay. The end result is making sure leaders collaborate, work together, and
He said, he said, if it comes to structure, we have a problem. Now was it under, like, was that a shot to Quasi, so to say? But yeah, bro, like he just said, he reports to him. He is the boss. Matter of fact, I'll run it back one more time to get a full, clear dose of it again. But was that a slight shot at Quasi right there?
Through our process, we spoke to the John Schneider and the coach there and the whole organization and around the league as well. And the marks were high and nothing through our process different from that. So I think it all fits well together. You know, each process stands on its own. And obviously the difference is going to be we need to get where we need to get, and that's winning championships. So that's what our goal always is.
So Will, just to be clear here too, Kevin, Nolan, and Rob all report directly to you, or how's that going to trickle down?
No. Nolan, the general manager, reports to ownership as well as the head coach. Rob is part of the football operations and football organization that's under Nolan. So again,
so Rob is under him. Yeah. Hey man, you know. So him and KOC report to him at the end of the day, but he's still playing that GM position. Rob is under. You heard what he just said. Rob is under him. Hey, is what it is, ain't what it ain't. Shout out Rob, shout out Nolan, Teasley, shit, even shout out KOC. Here we go. Let's get it.
In the end, that's the structure. That's the way it is. If it comes to structure, we've got a problem. Okay. The end result is making sure leaders collaborate, work together. And, again, kudos to Rob and the effort he led this past few months, getting our draft process and collaboration working well in the building. Right now we have Nolan, and I think that's an incredible piece to our puzzle. And like I said, Nolan's leading our football operations as GM, reports to ownership, and obviously Coach O'Connell reports to ownership as well.
Made with real milk and cream.
But it tastes unreal.
Natural bliss, unexplainably blissful.
Nolan, this is Mark Craig from the Star Tribune. It's curious when it comes to gaining respect of a room. Talk about how important your background in scouting, starting from kind of the bottom up when scouting. What
Bart, look at that right there, man.
What that does whenever you're able to stand in front of a room and get respect, and also what's the best piece of John Schneider that you're able to bring here?
I think those two things go together. You alluded to it. I started as an intern, and so I was able to experience a lot of roles between then and now. And so that's a lot of experience, and I can relate to people in the room. I've been in their shoes. And in terms of John, it's everything that we're talking about here is building alignment and consensus and being collaborative. That's what we did in Seattle, and that's what we're going to do here.
Nolan, Don Mitchell from Fox 9. First of all, welcome.
And he's seen it firsthand. He's seen the blueprint firsthand. Him and John Schneider work together firsthand. Shit. So it's no question in his ability to build a Super Bowl caliber roster, no doubt. The question is, how can they all work together? You know, how would the energy be, the cohesion be, the chemistry be? Let's get it, man. Here we go. We got to build. Oh man, what up, Holden? He said, I feel good about Teasley hiring. He sound like he know football, unlike Quasi Adolfo Monday. Shout out Holden in the building, man. We hope so, right? We hope so, right there, Holden, no doubt. Come on, Skol Nation, boom. Shout out Daniel in the building, Skol Vikes, man. Here we go. Let them know. Let's get back to it. So he sounds like another KFC. Oh no. What? You think so? I don't think so, Daniel. Yeah, I don't. I mean, does he sound like KOC? How do they all sound like? You know? Yeah, I don't think he sounds like KOC. I think he sounds like himself. Shit. Bane, if anything. You know? But yeah, I feel like he's, just, of course, the right things will be said in this situation. But everything he said so far sounds like it's just him being him, understanding what he wants and what he brings to the table. You know? Said, what is power, or is it by committee? Terrible idea, in my opinion. I don't think the collaboration by committee or with power by committee, whatever you want to call it, would be bad. As long as they know what they want, the direction they want the team to go in, and the players they identify, and the vision for the players, like he said earlier, I think it won't be a problem, man. Communication is good when it's the right communication. Let's get it, bro. Here we go. Oh, I know it ain't. I know it ain't. Hu Yang in the building. You rang, Hu Yang. You rang, Hu Yang. No Ed and Eddie tonight, Hu Yang. You hear me? Heavy. SKOL VIKES, baby. Here we go. You say tunes. I only see Ed boys take over. Shout out Broski Bear in the building, man. Shout out Broski Bear in the building, man. Let's get it. SKOL VIKES. He say no more of this is not Quasi's fault, even though he was the GM cap. Yeah, bro, it's Quasi's fault, man. Quasi messed up. He's out of there. Quasi messed up for 4 years. He's out of there. Period. That's how it went. What it is, what it ain't. Guess what? KOC mess up this year. He's out. Bad. Should he have been out with Quasi? Probably so. But at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. You know? Don't they say top to bottom, right? Top to bottom. You know? Period. GM, head coach, the owners are at the top. Top to bottom, right there. Top to bottom. Here we go. What it looks like is KFC won't get fired for effing up. Got it. Hey, not so fast right there, Daniel. Not so fast. I don't think it looks like that at all. And as the Wolf showed you with the Quasi situation, they are not playing for real. So if KOC has a horrible year or performs horribly, I guarantee Nolan Teasley will go to the Wolves. He will go to Mark like, hey, Mark, it's time to make a change, bro. I want a new head coach. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Yeah, so don't assume it's just all good for KOC. This is a new guy in the building, bro. I don't care about nothing previously. They may have a good relationship, this and that, cool. But I'm sure KOC will finally be held accountable by somebody. Here we go. Let's get it.
You said earlier that it would take something phenomenal for you to leave Seattle and come here. There's a slew of coaches in Seattle that used to be here, and many people in the organization. Did you reach out to any, and maybe anything that they said to you that really stuck out to you to say, yes, this just solidified my decision?
Yeah, I talked to people throughout the process. Matt Thomas, who was here recently, I speak to him a lot. You alluded to coaches that have worked with Kevin. Nothing but glowing things to say about Kevin, about the organization, and that helped make this decision really easy when I was provided the opportunity.
Nolan, right back here. Ben Gessling from the Minnesota Star Tribune. When you talked about collaborating with coaches and getting a vision for what they see in a player, what is that process like for you in the front office side of learning from a coach of what he wants and then applying that to how you select players?
Well, that's going to start immediately. We're going to get with the coaching staff and we're going to talk about what their vision is for the systems, the players that they need to effectively operate within the scheme, and it's ongoing.
I like that. I like that, man. I like that for real, though. He said, hey, I'm going to start right away. Get with the coaches. What is your vision for these players? What is your path for these players, dog? I like it. He's attacking it right away. Hey, shout out Nolan Teasley, no doubt. Here we go. You already know. I think him and Brian Flores will click as well, dog. Yeah, straight up. Here we go. I like that though. What is your vision for your player that you drafted, you brung in, etc.? Why did you bring him in at this position, at that position? What did you really see in him? Make him earn it, make him prove it, Nolan. Make him prove it. Make them earn their keep. Straight up. Here we go. Let's get back to it. SKOL VIKES, man. Here we go. Let's get it. Oh, yeah.
Because there's levels of football, but yeah, we're going to get into the weeds and we're going to start working together immediately. And when we're talking about acquisitions, we're going to meet and communicate and continue to move forward in that way.
Nolan, Mike Max from WCCO TV. The draft has been scrutinized a lot here in the last several years in terms of guys that have been drafted and are making it on the field. What's your philosophy about the draft, how you arrive at who you pick, who makes a decision in the room, those kinds of things in terms of building through the draft?
Yeah,
Here we go.
it's process based and we make that decision together. When you talk about getting players onto the field, that's where the vision of the coaching staff comes into play. Their vision for the player ultimately leads to the player's path to being on the field, and that's how they're going to generate value for the organization.
Nolan, Chris Long again. When you made the decision to change lanes and take that job as an intern, could you have imagined this day coming? Or is that the reason you did it in the first place?
No, I talked about for a long time that I always had aspirations of being a general manager. It wasn't necessarily the goal. The goal was to be where my feet were and learn and progress in that way. And so that's why I needed a minute. This is an amazing day, and I'm so very appreciative of being here.
I know, and Kevin Seifert from ESPN.
So far, I like his energy, man. He ain't trying to be too overhyped. I feel like he just being him. Ain't all super giggly, smiley like Quasi and KOC were. Feel like he just being real and firm, and he ready for business. He ready to get to work right away. You know it, I know it. He said, "Hey, it's gonna start immediately. What is your vision for these boys on the field right here?" So I don't know why everybody sitting back and thinking KOC just gonna have it sweet off GP, off the rip. Don't assume that. Don't assume that. Don't do that for real. Here we go.
Curious what your assessment of the quarterbacks are here and how you'll manage them moving forward. I'm sure you got a decent look at Kyler Murray over the years in NFC West and maybe JJ McCarthy in the draft process, but just curious how you assess it and how you kind of will manage that position over time.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of managing that, we're going to rely on the coaching staff, but I think the goal from the outset of the offseason was to build.
There you go, man. There you go. Like, and he's really right there holding the coaching staff accountable as far as managing what the coaching staff should manage their players correctly. Yeah, the GM, he plays his role. He'll be in the background though, building the roster though, right? Observing, breaking down which players should you keep, which players should you cut, which players should you even bring in. But at the end of the day, when you bring the players in, it's the coach's job to manage them. He's absolutely correct. Manage them, develop them, get them in order. Period, bro. Here we go. SKOL VIKES. Let's get it. Yeah, make sure you come in the chat. You fire the chat up, like the chat up as well, man. Support the channel, support the grind. Why not? It takes less than 1 second. Let's get back to it. SKOL VIKES.
Build a deep and competitive quarterback room, and I think that was executed.
I'm trying to pay off your loan.
Stop calling me. You sound like a psycho. I swear to God.
I'm calling.
Nolan, Charlie Walter, St. Paul Pioneer Press. What was that? Apparently sending a lot of letters to teams and asking for an opportunity. What was that like when all the rejections and your perseverance to continue?
Fuel to the fire, huh? Real fuel to the fire. Shit. You know it was. You know it was. He didn't fold. He didn't give up. He didn't stop. He didn't give in. But shit, everybody said, hey, he's turned him down. 31 teams turned him down. And then wow, boom, here we go, man. Minnesota. Gave him a chance. The chance he needed. That's it. Just one. You need just one. You know. Now the question is, will he take full advantage of his opportunity, of the opportunity given to him? Period. Here we go.
Well, there weren't as many rejections. It was just nobody replied.
Crazy, huh? Man, it's crazy right there, man. Here we go, man. Wow. He said no rejection, just nobody replied. On top of that, how disrespectful is that? On top of that, you can't even say, nah, this not a good time. Say something. Motherfucker, look at it, don't reply. Shit. Disrespect. Check the disrespect, Nolan. For real. Here we go.
It's what I wanted to do. It's what I've always been passionate about, and with the support of my wife and support of my friends and family, it was easy to continue to pursue it, and it's worth it. They did now, I guess. Over.
Nolan, Alec Lewis, the Athletic. What is the genesis of your football passion, like from the earliest time you can remember?
Yes, just a football family. I mean, football is what brought my dad and brother and I closer. So the genesis of that is playing, competing in the yard, watching football growing up, and it's just been instilled in me from a young age.
Nolan, you
Definitely the love for the game, the attitude for the game is definitely important to have. If you ain't got that as a GM, as a coach, as a player, etc., it don't matter. You gotta have a real true passion and love for the game. Ain't no cap. And Nolan Teasley definitely has that. And he's been around GMs, coaches, players in Seattle that have that. So the question is now, do the Minnesota Vikings have that as well? We shall see. I repeat, we shall see. Let's get it.
talked a little bit about Kevin O'Connell, obviously in 2020.
Now, I will be dropping a link about 3 minutes at the 1 hour mark, man. You want to come rock and roll with me, lock in with me, say how you feel, just make sure it's real. Probably for about 10, 15 minutes once again. Let's get it, bro. SKOL VIKES. Here we go.
Before you faced this team, you saw his offense and how it operated. I'm just curious if you could go into more detail about what you see from him and how you plan on kind of making the synergy between you and Kevin right away.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element of there is only so much football, but when I talked about Kevin being an elevator, I meant just that. You know, as a play caller, I've admired his career from afar. I think a really good example of it.
But I have to ask Nolan Teasley this question right here. He said he admired his play calling. Well, did you admire it last year, Nolan? Ain't no way in hell you admired it last year, Nolan Teasley, baby, for real. Because your boy, if that's your boy, he was piss poor last year, man. He was piss poor last year for real, Nolan. Hey, get him in order round yonder. You know, I got to break it down in the boogie downtown. Get your boy right, Teasley. Get him right or get him gone. Get him right or get him gone. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link right quick. Once again, you want to come rock and roll with me, lock in with me, bro. Say how you feel. Just make sure it's real. Here we go. SKOL VIKES.
of that is when he was in Washington and there was a coaching change, he remained in Washington. So people have been seeing what he's capable of for a very long time. Then he goes to LA, had the opportunity to compete against him, and I think he's a premier head coach in this league.
What's your plan as well when it comes to, and I know this might take some time, but as far as evaluation of like who's in the building, as far as your scouting staffs, pro personnel, college, things like that. How do you see that playing out just as far as evaluating those folks and potentially bringing in some people that share your philosophy? How do you see that going?
Yeah, I don't know if I would get into depth in terms of staffing or anything in that regard because I haven't been here to assess the people that are here, but I know there's a lot of strong evaluators and a really strong football operation in place. So I would leave it at that.
Hi, Nolan. Emily Leiker with the Star Tribune. I'm curious how you would describe your leadership style and maybe how it evolved during your time in Seattle.
Yeah, there's an element of by example, but really at its foundation, at its core is I want to put people in position to do what they do best and then allow them to do it. And we want to put them in those positions as often as possible.
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing tech, but this Ridge one quickly became a favorite. So this, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that's already this small, is pretty clutch, but it's also pretty loaded. Built-in braided USB-C cable.
Hold up, man. The media coming heavy a little bit today, though. Hold on, man. Asking about staff questions and shit like that type shit.
How do you see that playing out just as far as evaluating those folks and potentially bringing in some people that share?
Hold on, run it back. They talking about staffing, basically who he gonna fire, who he gonna hire.
Kevin being an elevator, I meant just that. He was in Washington and there was a coaching change. He remained in Washington. So people have been seeing what he's capable of for a very long time. Then he goes to LA, had the opportunity to compete against him, and I think he's a premier head coach in this league.
We'll see this year, baby. We'll see this year. Like I said, once again, get your boy right, Nolan. Get your boy right. Here we go.
What's your plan as well when it comes to, and I know this might take some time, but as far as evaluation of like who's in the building, as far as your scouting staffs, pro personnel, college, things like that. How do you see that playing out just as far as evaluating those folks and potentially bringing in some people that share your philosophy? How do you see that going?
Like I said, basically saying, hey, bro, who you gonna fire? Who you gonna hire? How you feel about this scouting room, etc.? Are they piss poor? Are they ass? Huh? How long will they remain in the building until they get up out the building heavy? Hey, the media, I ain't gonna lie, the media, they did better so far today. Not great at all. They didn't press him like they pressed McCarthy or press him like they pressed Jadis per se. Not with the same type questions, different questions, of course, but you know the way they press McCarthy. They didn't do that, but a couple real good questions. I give them that. Here we go. Let's get it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would get into depth in terms of staffing or anything in that regard because I haven't been here to assess the people that are here, but I know there's a lot of strong evaluators and a really strong football operation in place. So I would leave it at that.
Respectable answer. Definitely a respectable answer. And what do you expect the man to say? Great answer by Teasley. Great question by the media. I'll say good question by the media. Here we go.
Hi, Nolan. Emily Leiker with the Star Tribune. I'm curious how you would describe your leadership style and maybe how it evolved during your time in Seattle.
Yeah, there's an element of by example, but really at its foundation, at its core is I want to put people in position to do what they do best and then allow them to do it. And we want to put them in those positions as often as possible.
Nolan, going back to the quarterback for just a second, you dealt with Russell Wilson, obviously Sam Darnold, probably two different personalities. What is the quarterback's role, and based on what you've seen, two different Super Bowl champions, in terms of the culture that they create inside it? How important is it, and what do they have to be?
Yeah, as I was raised in this league, the quarterback and the head coach are the two most important people in the building, and so we're going to build our operation and our foundation around supporting them so that they can be the best versions of themselves at all times.
Nice answer. Nice answer. And people talking about he sound like KOC. How in the hell does he sound like KOC? Daniel, I believe Daniel said that in the chat. He doesn't sound like KOC at all, or Quasi. Definitely. It's not long drawn out answers. He's not trying to smile extra, trying to be super polite about it and just, oh, promise this, saying too much, talking, trying to say everything right. He's simply being him. I don't think he sounds like KOC at all. You know, KOC was very long-winded at times, trying to hone in on, oh, Super Bowls, championships, this and that, culture, etc. Same as Quasi. Exactly. Talking about they're going to do it their way, this and that. And so far right now, their way has been the wrong way. But Teasley, solid answers, and not trying to do too much. Respect, Teasley, respect. Here we go. Make them respect it. You telling me nobody answered the man? Nobody? Not one? Besides the Vikings. Oh, man. Here we go. Let's get it.
Yeah, Nolan, what did you feel over on your right? What did you feel was most important as you guys transition from core to core without bottoming out in Seattle from a roster perspective?
I think understanding what you have in the building and building around that, right? So just understanding, having a really good understanding of what your strengths are, and then continuing to build around that, while being responsible in free agency and concentrating on building through the draft and supplementing the roster through free agency is probably a better way to say that.
And that's the main thing right there. The biggest thing, question for me here, can he draft? Can he give you great draft after great draft after great draft? He did it in Seattle, or he was part of it in Seattle for sure. Can he do that here in Minnie? Can his supporting system help him do that as well? That's the main question, though, bro. The damn draft. Free agency, yeah. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Free agency is important, and you got to give credit where credit is due. Quasi set the Vikings up nicely as far as free agency acquisitions go. But besides that, the draft, piss poor. Other moves made, piss poor, Jack. No cap. You know it. I know it. But at the end of the day, can he continue to draft at a high level, at the highest level, really? North's in the building. What up, big dog? SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Let's get it. Say best version of themselves. That is the same bullshit line Okan man says. Doesn't matter about the line, man. Doesn't matter, And also pay attention to the way it's delivered. Pay attention to the way it's being delivered as well. Northfius, no cap. Of course, certain things be said, the same things may be said, okay, and certain phrases just will be said in general, damn near. But just check out his whole demeanor, man. KOC and Quasi were up there trying to do too much, trying to smile too much, even trying to sound good, say the right things every time. He's not up there giving long-winded answers, dog. He's not promising this and promising that, and oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. No. Just like the question about the staff, etc. He answered that perfectly. So let's comment way down just because him and KOC may have a history, or he may know KOC, they may know each other a little bit. That doesn't mean he won't challenge KOC. That won't mean he won't have friction with KOC if need be, if necessary. But he doesn't sound like KOC at all. Even in the sense of how he's answering the questions, baby. No cap. Ain't no way in hell, no way in the world he sounds like KOC right now. Man, KOC got up there, talked good as a bitch, made so many promises, this and that. He gonna do this, he gonna do that, man. Every answer took forever. Yeah, but give a man a chance before you not give him a chance. I repeat, give the man a chance before you not give him a chance. Here we go, man. Let's get it.
And Mark, kind of similar question for you along those lines. How much did that resonate with you guys during this process, that he was part of a regime that won a Super Bowl, was able to pivot from that team without really ever bottoming out, and then was able to do it again with a totally different core?
I like I said earlier, I think a lot of respect for the Seattle Seahawks organization, John Schneider, the whole team over there, the coach. So yes, that did have a factor to play in it. But again, that's got to be along with the person. And I think the way that Nolan carries himself, like I said, his football acumen, his devotion to process and working with others, I think all of that combines. So yes, it was a factor.
Well, a couple more questions here.
Hi, Nolan. Kevin Seifert, ESPN. Just curious, more typically the general manager starts in January and jumps right into free agency and draft, and it's kind of hectic. And I'm sure it will be hectic now, but I'm curious, like, to the extent that you can, like, how do you foresee these next few months going in terms of your ramping up, and does it allow you to do that at a different level and speed than if you had jumped in here in January and gone straight into free agency and all that?
Yeah, I think you can say the timing is unique, but this job is going to present challenges regardless of the time of year.
Facts, facts, my dog. Facts. He know it. You know it. Come on, bro. He doesn't sound like nothing like KOC at all. Even their energy is different. His calmness is different. Everything. Norris, come on now. Give the man credit before you don't give him credit. Give the man a chance before you don't give him a chance. All this assuming means nothing, bro. Heavy. All this assuming means nothing at all. Only ones that really know what's going on in the room, what's going on behind the scenes, are KOC, Rob Brzezinski, the Wolves, and now Nolan Teasley, period. You hear me? Heavy. And of course, God and the devil. But at the end of the day, they know what's going on. So all the rumors, speculations, he's another KOC, this and that. No, bro, we got to stop it right there. It's not fair to him in general. Now, if he turns out to be another KOC, cool, then you call him another KOC. But this interview, this presser was totally different. I repeat, totally different than the KOC presser. Matter of fact, if you need to, go rewatch the KOC presser. Very different individuals, period, man. Here we go. Let's get it.
So we're going to, operate within the time frame that we're given. Again, I'm going to assess the roster in its entirety, and then we're really getting prepared for the fall cycle on the college side, and then the roster reduction on the pro side, as opposed to the draft and immediate free agency.
If match. And the way he answered those last few questions, really all the questions for real, but man, especially had the media, and I ain't gonna lie, hold on, let me bring it back. Hold on, man. And I ain't gonna lie, the media did kind of attack him a little bit. I ain't gonna say attack, but they kind of tried to put the pressure on him, as they should. Now I want to see them do that same thing to KOC or to Kyler Murray, heavy, or to let's see who should be on the brink right now. To a Josh Metellus, maybe. Ask Josh Metellus why he is so piss poor at pass coverage, or what did he work on this year to get better, improve at being a pass defender. Just ask those questions, man. Simple. But they threw some jabs, some right hooks, left hooks, straight right, boom. Tried to hit Nolan Teasley in the mouth, per se. But the way he handled it, bro, he answered those questions very good. And once again, anyone who's comparing him to KOC in this moment, hey, you're very delusional right now. They sound nothing alike. Totally different animals, totally different beings. Heavy. You know it, I know it. Really two totally different messages as well. KOC Quasi came in here talking about, hey, the culture, the change, we're doing it our way. It's about winning, promising Super Bowls. Multiple, you heard what Will said, multiple Super Bowls. Huh? Bitch, what? Bitch, yeah? Take the what and leave the what? Huh? His tune is totally different. You know, he's talking about the process, really similar to Saban, different tone, but the process, you know, the whole process, what Nick Saban came in with, the greatest to ever do it as far as college football, Alabama history goes. Roll Tide, full of pride, baby. Roll Tide. You know, my Bama fans, pay attention, stay locked in with me. Probably drop a Bama live tomorrow. Matter of fact, Roll Tide, full of pride. Roll Tide, baby. Here we come. Ain't nothing rolling but the damn tide. For real. You know it. I know it. But calm it down, bruh. Calm it way down. Give Nolan Teasley a chance before you don't give him a chance. Let's go. Hell yeah, man. Get back to it here. Matter of fact, I think it's one more yeah, one more another Nolan Teasley video to get into right away. Oh, KOC, huh? KOC spoke as well. Bad. Uh-huh. So we're gonna keep it rolling, Get into this Nolan Teasley other interview per se. Yeah, man. Him and big fine ass Tatum. Yeah, a little breakdown between him and big fine ass Tatum. Come here, girl. Let's get right to it. But let me know in the chat, fire the chat up. How do you feel about Nolan Teasley in general, man? Are you happy? Are you excited? Or are you mad? Was it a good hire, bad hire? Let me know. I think it was a real good hire to be exact. Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. We go. Black Iron Pot's in the building. Black Iron Pot Records in the building. What up, dog? SKOL VIKES. Heavy. We go, bro. Uh-huh. Let's get it. Let's work. Here we go. He said, what up, brother E? I would much rather see the GM, head coach, and coordinators on the same page any day of the week. A divided house can't stand. Oh, that boy coming in hot on the spot, man. You hear me? Heavy. You know it. I know it. That boy Black Iron Pot coming in hot. Matter of fact, bro, let me say it again, dog, for real. He said, what up, brother E? I would much rather see the GM, head coach, and coordinators on the same page any day of the week. A divided house can't stand. Damn, bro. For real? Woo. Real talk, bro. That's all I'm gonna say right there. Real talk. Black Iron Pot Records. They must be on the same accord. They must have chemistry. That's why I've been saying I had no problem with KOC being involved in hiring the GM. Problem for what? You want your head coach to be close and to know his GM, period. I mean, why the hell not? They're gonna be working together every day, damn near, building the team together, figuring out personnel, bringing in personnel together. Hell, why not? Isn't that what you want? A great chemistry between your GM and head coach and cap space guy, Rob Brzezinski, whoever? Why wouldn't you want them to be close? Come on, bro. Stop it. Here we go, bro. Let's get it. He said, don't get me wrong, EJ. Teasley is the guy I was hoping to get outside the building. Good shit, Norris. Good shit, man. Shout out Teasley, man. Shout out Teasley for real. Here we go. Let's get it. Believe in Teasley before you not believe in Teasley, or give Teasley a chance before you not give Teasley a chance. Straight up. 1 second. Oh, damn, man. Wow. Hold up.
We're so excited that you're here. When you got up, Nolan, congratulations. We're so excited that you're here. When you got up there to do your opening statement, it felt like you took like a breath, a pause to take everything in. What was going through your mind?
A lot of appreciation, a lot of gratitude. Just wanted to take a moment to kind of gather my thoughts. And honestly, it was a little bit surreal. I think I mentioned that I had aspirations of this role. And so for it to come to fruition, it was something special.
Would you describe it as a dream realized?
I would describe it as a dream realized. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Aspiration.
Shit, damn right, man. Shout out Teasley. Matter of fact, clap it up for Teasley, new GM in the building. Heavy SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, man. Give Teasley a chance before you not give Teasley a chance, baby. For real. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Yeah. Let's get back to
it. Yeah.
Aspiration achieved. Is this what did you envision when you saw this moment happening for you?
I don't know that I ever envisioned it specifically, which is maybe why I needed a moment, right?
Right.
So, but it was pretty special. But I mean, really, so taking that in, yeah, special moment, and now the work begins, and I'm kind of ready to pivot. And the ultimate goal is really to bring a championship to the Minnesota Vikings. So.
That's right. I mean, in your time in Seattle, you bookended with some Super Bowls. What has that taught you about what you can take into this experience?
Yeah, it's I mean that it's not easy because we got there in 2013. My first year, made it back in 2014, and right off the bat to have the experience to win a Super Bowl and actually lose a Super Bowl, there's value in that from in the lessons that were learned.
Yeah, man, definitely, bro. He probably learned so much from the win and the loss, just as far as players go, man, energy goes, team chemistry, etc. So he's been in the trenches, man, low times, high times, whatever. He understands full throttle what it means to really be a Super Bowl team, dog. You know, like this man has seen. I mean, man, he's seen a team be built up from the bottom, Jack. No cap. Legion of Boom, right? All that. So he understands. He was helping put all this shit together. He's been in a real system, bro. Come on now. You know it. I know it. Shit. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks for the connection, for the real connection. Here we go, man. SKOL VIKES. Here we go, baby. Let's get it.
But then going through some transitions and builds and some different iterations and variations of the Seattle Seahawks, and then to finally get back, I learned a lot of lessons along the way. And there's a lot of things that I know that we're going to face adversity here at times, but ultimately work our way through it and find a way to succeed.
Yeah, you seem to have worked all the way through it from multiple positions within the organization, the Seattle's organization, starting as an intern. How can that benefit what you can, how you can relate to your staff here in Minnesota?
Yeah, I've been there. I've experienced it. I understand the role to a certain extent. Obviously, you do things differently in different places, but yeah, I've had the opportunity to be an intern. I've done airport runs. You know, I've done advanced scouted opponents. I've done school visits. You know, so I can relate to people. I have empathy for the situation that they're in, and then it helps me kind of drive the way that I want to shape our processes so that people can work hard, work efficiently, and ultimately have life balance as well.
When did you know that you wanted to be more involved in that leadership process as opposed to being a scout?
I think it just comes naturally. You know, the more that you get exposed to the operation, you're forced to be in a leadership role. And so again, it's not, I don't need to be this out front leader. I'm very comfortable in a support role, and that's kind of how I envision this role, ultimately support.
And you see that was very important right there as well. He's very important being him. He ain't trying to be something he's not. He said he ain't got to be even too outspoken even, but hey, he leads the way he does. He's very cool with the collaboration role, man, the communication role. He understands. He's seen how to build a real team. I'm sure in Seattle they work together, but really work together. They had a real friendship, dog, a real bond, not just like Quasi and O'Connell was faking the funk, or Mike Zimmer and a Rick Spielman situation. No, they had a real chemistry, a real bond. They built real teams, had real success, dog. Definitely can identify a real solid head coach. Mike McDonald is a pure animal. So yeah, like I say, give him a chance before you not give him a chance. Here we go. They say he don't play politics, so I love that. That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. Who say that? No Norse. Who say that? No Norse. For real. Here we go. Let's get it. He say, "Sorry, Nolan, I'm fucking greedy. You better build me a dynasty. I want at least 4 ships." There you go, North. Let's get it, man. Will he build a dynasty? Is a dynasty coming? Hey, that's what we want. That's what we really want. SKOL Vikes. It's time, bro. The time is now. Back to
And the head coach supporting the operation as a whole and helping us achieve Coach O'Connell's vision.
Yeah, it seems like there was a lot aligned here in Minnesota for you. When in the interview process did you see this as the special opportunity you described?
Every step of the way, we started with the Zoom interview, and I was certainly intrigued. And then coming out and meeting everybody in person, ownership, Coach O'Connell, seeing the building, that's kind of when I realized, I think I called my wife that night. I was like, I want this job.
It's been a while since you probably said that about another organization.
I don't know if I've ever said that about another
Okay,
organization.
all right.
Yeah.
We like to hear it. We like to hear it. Well, I know you're ready to hit the ground running, and you talked a little bit about being anchored in your process, and you have a vision for what you want to bring here. How do you plan on, since you probably said that about another organization?
I don't know if I've ever said that about another
Okay,
organization.
all right. We like
run it back though. Hold
Coming
on.
out and meeting everybody in person, ownership, Coach O'Connell, seeing the building, that's kind of when I realized, I think I called my wife that night. I was like, I want this job.
Perfect fit, right? Damn near perfect fit. Let's get it, man.
It's been a while since you probably said that about another organization.
I don't know if I've ever said that about another
Okay,
organization.
all right.
Yeah.
We like to hear it. We like to hear it. Well, I know you're ready to hit the ground running, and you talked a little bit about being anchored in your process, and you have a vision for what you want to bring here. How do you plan on approaching the next few months, knowing that you're in a unique position post draft?
Yeah, I have my thoughts. I have some ideas on what I want that process to look like, but I think it's really important to, I would call it a listening tour, go on that, learn from the people that are in the building because they've had success here and doing it the way that it's been found. And ultimately, I think there's a collaboration that, we can come to an agreement in how we want to move forward together.
Definitely. Hold on. Of course, they would go there. Definitely a collaboration will be had as long as people understand at the end of the day, get out of Nolan Teasley's way. Let him work for real. Collaboration is cool, all that communication is cool and all that, but bruh, let the man do his damn job. Period.
Speaking of that, a premier coaching staff is what you described it. What about this group stands out to you?
Well, names that I recognize from top to bottom, some that I've had previous relationships, led by Coach O'Connell, who is proven to be, I'll use that word premier again, a play caller. And then you look on the defensive side of the ball with Flo, and I've seen it firsthand. That's a disruptive unit, and it's tough to function against those guys on Sunday. So I'm glad to be on their side now.
Yeah.
So
in your background in scouting, was there a specific side of the ball you were just really jazzed to just turn the tape on?
you gain an appreciation for evaluating every position, because it's so important to the build that you balance a roster and that you find a way to accentuate strengths and then, mitigate some of your limitations.
When you look at this roster specifically right now, what excites you?
A lot of things. The investment in the offensive on the offensive line, defensive line as well, because I think that's where you win in the trenches. It's one of the better.
Run it back, bro. Run it back. He gets it. He got to prove it. He got to earn it. He got to win. Cool. But hey, he sounds nothing like KOC. I repeat, nothing like a KOC, baby. Here we go, SKOL Vikes. Let's get it. Welcome, Teasley. Welcome, dog, for real. Here we go.
So important to the build that you balance a roster and that you find a way to accentuate strengths and then, mitigate some of your limitations.
When you look at this roster specifically right now, what excites you?
A lot of things. The investment in the on the offensive line, defensive line as well, because I think that's where you win in the trenches. It's one of the better, if not the best, wide receiver rooms in the National Football League. You have a really competitive quarterback room. You know, Kyler Murray, #1 draft pick. You know, JJ was picked high. Carson was picked high. He's played a lot of football, and even Max Brosmer has starting experience now. So that's going to really be fun to watch that mature. And then I think
You already know. He definitely, bro. If anybody understands, he definitely understands. It starts in the trenches. The games are won in the trenches. You know it. I know it. Well, that's something he definitely understands, dog. He was in Seattle. You saw the line in Seattle. Even if they didn't have juggernaut offensive linemen across the board, they had a system, a perfect system that Mike McDonald, Clint Kubiak created. Period. Everybody's talented in the NFL, you know? Know what I'm saying? For the most part. But they're starters for a reason. Here we go. What do you do with your talent, man? Period.
every level of the defense has, you know, high caliber players. So I'm excited about everything from top to bottom.
When you add to a roster, you're also looking at character. What are some of the traits you like to see in guys?
We want people that are just ultimately passionate about the game of football, you know, and that drives their process. So they're doing what they need to do to be the best version of themselves once they get to the field. And then it's our job as an operation to support that and help them, you know, realize their potential.
I hear the word process.
You know, he said passion for the game. Passion, bro. Very important. Shit, you got players who are passionate, really love the game, have fun, want to play hard and be passionate, bro. Shit, sky's the limit. Matter of fact, there's no limit. You got a chance every time. Especially when you got a coaching staff who's passionate on top of that. Shit, he'll probably come in here and put some fire under the wolf's ass type shit. You know it. I know it. You know, passion for the game, but also holding everybody accountable as well, dog. And if you ain't got the passion, get going. Let's get it.
Process a lot, and I'm just trying to get to know you a little bit more. Is it something that came because you started in football later? Is it your part of your marketing background, or is that something you picked up along the way?
I think I've been pretty process oriented.
Dope shit. Hey. Nice question by Tatum Everett as well with her fine ass. Come here, girl. Get back to it. We go.
My entire life, regardless of what I was doing, you know, I'm pretty organized and structured, and I think that's the best way to go about it, because when you have a process in place, you're always going to be anchored, and you're always going to have things to go back and learn from, even when you've erred, right? So, yeah, I'm always curious. I always want to learn, and I think by having a process in place, that helps you achieve that.
A lot of people that are been involved working with you.
Everybody process be different though. Some people's process don't work. You know, Saban, the great Saban, like I said earlier, came in with a process. He put it on full display. You know, everything was a process, bro. Recruiting, coach personnel he hired, staff he hired, all that. Defensive scheme, offensive scheme, etc. Man, and his process worked in a great way, in a major way. The best to ever do it, damn near. You know, we seen KOC had a process, an erroneous process, but one at that hasn't worked yet. As far as on the field, play calling, etc. It hasn't worked yet. And then somehow, some way, he got coach of the year. What? Take the what and leave the what. Let's get back to it, bro. Here we go.
You in your processes as well have described you as someone who is very good at relationship building. What are some of the pillars for you in building strong relationships?
I think I referenced listening. I mean, I just you want to get to know people, what makes them tick. I want them to get to know me, and ultimately just understand their.
See what he said? You heard what he said? KOC, you know, take notes. KOC for sure. He said he has no problem listening, you know, observing, understanding, getting to understand and know who someone is. meaning he's not in his ego, KOC, period. You know it. I know it. He said he has no problem listening. Now, I'm sure he don't listen to no bullshit. But if it's something that makes sense, good advice, whatever it is, collaboration and communication amongst those men in the building, in the room, building this roster, you know, hopefully a Super Bowl caliber roster soon. He said he will listen, period. See, KOC don't like to listen. We've seen it all year long. He's in his ego forever. He's been in his ego forever. So once again, never compare. Don't compare him and KOC right now. He sounds nothing like KOC ever did, ever will, how ever will sound. You know, period, man. So let's get it. Here we go.
Strengths so that we can accentuate their strengths and put them in position to do what they do best as often as possible.
How complicated is that? Is that a difficult thing?
I don't think it's that complicated at all.
Really?
Don't overcomplicate it. You know? just listen, find out what people are good at, and then let them do it rather than micromanaging and trying to put them, you know, pigeonhole them.
You describe
I like that right there. Find out what they do good and let them do it, man. Get out the damn way, you know. And that's what KOC do. He want to micromanage, bro. Micromanage. No, man. How about you focus what you good at, KOC, and bring somebody else in to do the rest. See, KOC so worried about, if he give up play calling, that's his legacy, that's his reputation, huh? If he lets somebody else call plays, it's a problem, huh? It's not a problem. It's a good thing. If you can't handle play calling, KOC, give it up. Shit, bro. Here we go.
your leadership style in the press conference, so I don't want to touch on that, but I want to see, there are two words that stuck out to me that Seahawks GM John Schneider talked about you. It was ego-free and values-driven. How do you see that?
little shot at KO, maybe, baby. What she said, what he said, what Snyder said, huh? Ego-free. Oh, we've seen KOC never be ego-free. KOC is the total opposite around there. So I like this a lot, bro. Because guess what? At the end of the day, KOC got to answer, report to him. Just like Mark Will said earlier, GM head coach report to him. You know, Rob Brzezinski is under Nolan Teasley, and KOC is under Nolan Teasley as well. You know, it's still collaboration, it's still communication, but it's still certain levels. So don't think, don't think Teasley and KOC can't bang or won't bang or won't go at it sometimes, man. For real. Don't think Teasley just gonna lay down. What, bruh? Take the what and leave the what. I can tell from his energy already right now. He ain't just no lay down type cat, period. If he was that type dude, he would have came in, or he wouldn't even took the job in general at all. He would have stayed in Seattle or went somewhere else. You know it. I know it. So yeah, bro, definitely could bang, but it could be a good thing. I repeat, they definitely could bang, but it could be a real good thing, man. Two different personalities per se. But I love the way he said, ego free. Huh? You know it. Here we go. Let's get it, bro. The new era has begun. It really began already months ago with the abrupt firing of Kwesi, but it has really begun now. Official, baby. Official. Let's work. We go, man. Get it.
That showing up in your leadership style.
I mean, I think we just kind of talked about it. The willingness to learn and listen and be curious when other people have a different point of views than you do. Yeah, and just being willing to learn from somebody and not needing to be the loudest voice in the room.
Let's transition to your football background. When did you fall in love with the game for the first time?
I cannot remember a time that I didn't love the game of football.
Yeah.
And that was just growing up I
like that, man. I like that. For real. Here we go. Said he's been in love with the game.
Football family, my older brother Levi. I don't think he gave me a choice. You know, he needed somebody to beat up on in the backyard, and I was that person. And so yeah, it started at a very young age, and watching football together as a family was something that you know, I have a lot of memories of and cherish those memories.
And now you have 4 sons of your own.
You know, I have 4 sons of my own.
What is their interest level in football?
You know, it's interesting. My 8-year-old Jax couldn't be more interested in football. My oldest Cruz, not as interested.
Wow, it's interesting. Cruz, huh? Interesting right there. Shout out Cruz, huh? Heavy. and that boy Nolan Teasley ain't been playing, huh? He been putting that work in on his wife, huh? Heavy. Been putting that work in on and off the field, I guess. Here we go, man.
But that's okay. You raise them the same way, and they find their passion. And Jude, our 6-year-old, you know, he tends to lean with Jax, I think, just because he wants to have that relationship with his big brother. And Nash, undecided at the moment, you know, he's 3.5 going on 4 years old. But I have a feeling he likes to run into things. So I think he's going to like the game of football as well, yeah.
Well, now they are moving. You guys have really only ever known Washington. What is the process and the thought behind being able to relocate somewhere that's unfamiliar for you guys?
Yeah, we're really excited. Everybody's been really warm and welcoming in the short time that we've been here. The boys are excited. My wife Morgan is gonna, you know, she's gonna undertake that, and I know that she's gonna do a great job because she's always kind of ran the household, and so I'm looking forward to her kind of flourishing in that.
Guido in the building, my dog Guido in the building. What up, bro? SKOL VIKES. Here we go. What he said, family. First words, family. Interesting. Yeah, bro. You gotta like it. You definitely gotta love it. Family, very important. You know? We've seen a so-called family in Minnesota for years, but has it really been family, dog? Shit, sometimes family gotta be checked, you know, put in order. Heavy. Told the real deal, no cap, you know, told the truth, whatever. Even if it may be a disagreement or argument, etc. Jack, no cap, you know? Shit, man. Come on, bro. Sometimes you may have to bang with family. Now, of course, don't do too much. But at the end of the day, shit, family, very important, you know? Some may say family is damn near everything, depending on the type family it is. Yeah, bro, for real. Heavy. And you also know, just cause you blood don't make you family. You can say different things all the time, but definitely just the family factor, family atmosphere, Guido in the building, definitely a big thing, bro. Definitely an important piece of how he thinks and how he believes. Here we go.
Role as we make this transition.
Well, we're really excited to have you here. Welcome to Minnesota. And I feel like I need to give you a little bit of time for the floor so you can get some more thank yous out there. We didn't have enough time for it during the presser.
Yeah, well, specifically, I just wanted to, you know, to thank my mom, Joanne, my dad, Howard, my brother, Levi, all of our friends and family. Shout out to the SG. They know who they are. But just for all the love and support through the years. And without them, I'm not here.
Well, we can't wait to meet them as well and see them in US Bank Stadium in the fall.
Can't wait. For all the love and support through the years that we've been here. The boys are excited. My wife, specifically, I just wanted to, you know, to thank my mom, Joanne, my dad, Howard, my brother, Levi, all of our friends and family. Shout out to the SG. They know who they are. But just for all the love and support through the years. And without them, I'm not here.
Well, we can't wait to meet them as well and see them in US Bank Stadium in the fall.
Can't wait.
Knock, knock.
Shout out Nolan Teasley, bro. Clap it up for Nolan Teasley in the building. Yes, sir, bro. Not gonna lie, very excited, very happy about this hiring right here. I think Nolan Teasley could definitely do big things in many, no doubt. But let's Might not watch this whole video, but I want to see what KOC got to say right now. I guess KOC got something to say all of a sudden. You hear? Let's get into it, man. Why not, right? Why not? Then we're gonna dive into some OTA highlights, etc. Then get up out of here, man. No doubt. Here we go. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Here we go. What you got to say, KO? What you got to say, KO? Are you locked in for sure? Huh?
You know, not only about, you know, today, but I'm just very excited, you know, not only about, you know, today, but most importantly about, you know, the moment we clear this, the aspect of introducing Nolan, most importantly to our building, to our staff. He's already met with our coaching staff this morning, the football staff, but getting to work, he absolutely was a, you know,
I wonder, you know, you got to wonder like, hey, after Quasi's first couple failed drafts, did they have him in mind already? You know, just got to think, man, like, hey, after Quasi messed up 2 years, like, damn, bro, is this all you bringing to the table here? This it? You know, you think they started thinking about guys like Nolan, Teasley, etc. Damn, bro, we go.
phenomenal presence, you know, throughout the process that I felt very fortunate to be a part of, and really, you know, I'll speak to that in a moment, but just it becomes pretty clear very quickly that you know, the background that he's had within a great organization. I respect John Schneider so much and what they've been able to build in Seattle, not only competing against those guys for a long time, but also just, you know, we're always observing, you know, the quality organizations in this league. We believe we're one of them, and to add somebody, you know, to our leadership and somebody that will lead our football
Shit, seemed like he rubbed off on KOC already. Seemed like he rubbed off on KOC already, man. No cap, baby. Here we go. Let's go, Teasley. Let's work. Heavy SKOL VIKES. Here we go.
operations in a way that I'm just so excited to support him. I view it, you know, an equal part as he's talked about supporting the head coach. I think my job is to make sure that I put Nolan in a great position to have success as our leader by, you know, working not only with the football operations staff, but our coaching staff in a way. I know that collaboration word gets thrown out a lot, but when it works and when it is something that can be a powerful guiding tool for an organization, relationships grow within that.
Like you said, when it works, that's the main thing. Will it work? You know, you can have all the ingredients you need in one pot, but if they don't come together and cook right, it doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, period. You know it. I know it. Got to be the right seasoning, boom, man, right temperature, etc. But they got to work together at the end of the day. You know, can they be on the same accord? That's the main question right there. But I feel like Nolan Teasley definitely gonna come in and shake shit up for real. Yeah, bro. You know, once again, don't assume just KOC gets to do whatever he wants. Nah, don't assume that, and don't assume he's not on a hot seat for sure either. Teasley, hey, don't be surprised if Teasley bring that pressure, put that pressure on that boy there. You know it, I know it. Here we go.
People grow within their roles and inevitably ascend to the heights that we all hope that people do in our building. And Nolan has all the characteristics that I know ownership was looking for in the process. But most importantly, to step in and hit the ground running, to, like I said, as our general manager. But I do want to thank Mark and Ziggy and the Wolf family. Felt like this process, you know, getting a chance to you know, be a part of the process will only enhance Nolan and myself and our ability to start out fast and feel like we've almost been working together already, if that makes sense, just because of all the dialogue, the process that was put on, you know, not only by kind of spearheaded by Turnkey, but Andrew Miller as well. And like I said, just so thankful
to get to go through this process and come out with this outcome. And now the real fun starts, which is the daily minute-to-minute work together that is going to be so gratifying. I just know it.
How familiar were you with Nolan before, and what stood out through the interview process?
Yeah, I think, I've known of Nolan for a long time through John. He was always somebody, I know John well. I have all the respect in the world for him. We've shared some similar folks that we work with for a long time, but it's what makes John Schneider so unique is the times, the touch point.
And just because they may know each other, had a certain relationship here and there, like I said earlier, doesn't mean anything. If anything, it's a good thing, makes the situation better. Yeah, bro. Straight up.
Points throughout the football calendar when, he never misses an opportunity to shake your hand. He never misses an opportunity to connect with people. And you can see the way he does that with people outside his organization. You can only imagine what he's done inside that organization. But Nolan's always been somebody that I got a chance to meet him, I think maybe 3 years ago at the Combine. Spent some time together, and very quick, very casual, but people have an impact on you. Our league is a small circle in many ways, and I just always had so much respect and admiration. And then when you start really pairing the information you've heard with getting a chance to be a part of the process, it became pretty clear exactly not only the type of person and leader that we were hiring, but just the football background, understanding the college side, the pro side, how it all works together, understanding how a player that ultimately through the process that he wants to run, we bring into this organization, how do we put him in the best possible situation to have success? That's all part of his DNA of his football life, his football journey. And, that obviously was a big part of it. And the second part of your question?
Just what the impressions you got.
Yeah. So that was really it. And just, you can tell when someone's confident and somebody, is only enhanced by their experience, but the belief and the path he's forged for himself speaks for itself. Like I said, I think not only all of our staff in this building, but you guys and your relationships with them, and hopefully, most importantly, our fans will have a ton of confidence in the person we hired today.
Yeah. Him and KOC definitely will be a good duo if KOC can learn to listen like Teasley can listen. But this could definitely be a great duo. Like I say, seemed like Teasley has rubbed off on him already. So yeah, bro, very excited about this situation right here. Questions about KOC still? Hell yeah. They're not going anywhere. Why would they? He's done nothing yet. But I really think hiring Teasley gonna put some pressure on his ass as well. Like, hey, ain't no more games around here, KO. Quasi's gone. You can be, you will be next if you don't step up, period. Get back to it.
How did you view your role within just the interview process?
Yeah, really, I looked at it as I'm a big believer in listening is the number one, requirement, especially for me in that role. I really wanted to listen and hear.
Shit, must be something new to you, Jack, because you ain't been listening for about, 3-4 years. I repeat, you ain't wanting to listen to about 3-4 years, KLC. He talking about listening, very important. Did he mean now, listening to him now, listening to Teasley now, or in general? Because hell, you ain't listening 4 years, KOC. Not to a damn thing. For 4 years, you've been in your ego, Jack. No cap. He talking about he want to listen now. He want to listen. Man, what? Take the what and leave the what? You hear me? Here we go, man. Let's get it. Must be something new for real. Hell yeah, bitch, yeah. Here we go.
The vision here, kind of how experiences people have had, have led them to that moment. We had an unbelievable group of candidates, very, very strong group of candidates. And it really allowed for, the high level dialogue where you come in from the head coach's perspective. I know exactly what my role is. I know the responsibilities that I have, and one of those is to build a unique relationship where it's built on trust, it's built on a level of personal responsibility to be competent in your role for the greater good of others. And Nolan feels that same thing is important. And now we support each other, and we support each other as leaders. We support each other through the adversity that inevitably does come, and all while trying to uplift this entire building and the staff that makes these jobs so unique and so impactful to have for such a wonderful organization that we get to be a part of.
Two more for KO.
What were some of the most important questions you wanted to ask him in that process?
Some of which were detailed, about transactions that were done, maybe a late season acquisition for a kick returner that scores 3 touchdowns. Some of it was more big picture. Some of it was more draft.
That was definitely a big signing for them. Got Shaheed in the building, a major weapon. Turned their whole season around, or not even season around, but just gave them more of a weapon, man. Take it to the house anytime, fast receiver, outside, inside, boom. Mid-season signing that helped get them to a Super Bowl for real. Certain moves like that, bro, off the rip. Abrupt moves that make great change. So there you go, man. That's what Teasley has. That's what Teasley has been around.
Process. Some of it was more examples of a time, like you guys asked today, in some ways, excuse me, where, hey, give me an example of when, the collaboration helped maybe a disagreement become a great acquisition in the end that everybody was on board with and 100%, in alignment with. And he was able to articulate that in a way that I could envision, articulate that in a way that was, a foundation of conviction to how his beliefs have come about. And most importantly, you could feel the experience of John Schneider giving him, growing responsibilities from coming in as an intern to inevitably being his right-hand man. So I think those are some of the types of things, and getting to spend some one-on-one time as well, really getting to know each other, but also, having in-depth conversations of our roster, how we got to this point, in the short term and, the long term, but most importantly about how we hit the ground running together and what that looks like, and how I can be of support to make sure that I want this transition and this process, not only for Nolan, but his family as well, to be as smooth as possible and make him as comfortable as possible. So, that can be felt throughout our entire building. And I believe that will happen.
Kevin, how much did you guys get a chance to talk about the quarterback and just philosophies of acquiring, developing during this process?
Yeah. And I think, there's some things we absolutely did, really with all the candidates. And a lot of that, even more so, we obviously talked about our quarterback room. But it's also more of what you said, the philosophical ways of doing it. Look, you think about how they were able to do it in Seattle, really, in multiple times, multiple ways. They weren't really ever picking in the top 5, number 1 overall. They were able to do it in ways that, quite honestly, I view as the ways that we're probably going to have to operate moving forward, either within our quarterback room right now or potential acquisitions, into the distant future. You have to lean on process. You have to lean on a world where, you can make really good decisions and stack those decisions. But the quarterback position, as we've seen with teams that consistently have success year over year, it's a consistent pillar of the football organization. It really is. And
you want to talk about the quarterback position right now, KLC? Now, when KLC starts to fix his lips to talk about this quarterback situation, that's where it goes wrong right there. Because the way he's handled JJ McCarthy has been horrible. The work he put in, or lack of work he has put in with JJ McCarthy, has been horrible. So let's not sit up here and talk quarterbacks, KLC. When you said JJ McCarthy was the future of the team, of the squad, etc. Then when it was convenient for you, your whole tune changed. So don't sit up here and talk quarterback play until you do right by your quarterback, KLC. Until you really put the time, effort in with him. Really put the work in to develop him? You haven't done that yet. But you done it with everybody else, Jack. No cap. Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, who else? Joshua Dobbs, Nick Mullins, boom. The list goes on, and I'm sure you will do it with Kyler Murray as well. So my point right there, I want KOC to shut the hell up. Don't ever speak about QB play, QB nothing until you do right by your young QB. You hear me, KOC? Huh? For real, dog. Heavy. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. He up there talking crazy, baby. He talking about a QB. You been lying on your QB, switching up on your quarterback since day one, chomp, pump. Huh? Here we go, bro. Let's get it.
Fact that they were able to do it in multiple ways, and then the discussion of how that came about, the decision-making process, the alignment, were really things that caught my ear for sure, and I know the group as a whole.
Coach, I know that Mark did touch on this a little bit, but wondering if you can just speak to.
Don't ever, dog. Don't ever talk about QBs again in your life, KOC, bro. Period. You ain't done right by McCarthy yet, Jack. No cap once again.
Rob and his obviously passion for this organization and the fact that he can kind of make a seamless transition after being involved in this.
I think there's a couple things to hit on for sure. First and foremost, the process from when Rob stepped into the role through free agency and the draft, and the way he worked with the coaching staff, the personnel, the scouts, on the pro side, the college side, to really bring out the best, in a lot of people, to try to, it was a unique time for sure. But his leadership and his selflessness to attack that process for the greater good of the organization and for ownership to entrust him during that time, I think speaks for itself. But then also, going through the process as a candidate, and then transitioning to now being a pivotal. Rob is a pivotal part of not only this organization, but he's a pivotal part of my.
Yeah, we know he is. We know he is, KOC. He's a pivotal part, definitely a pivotal part. The man delivered a phenomenal draft. You damn right, he's a pivotal part to the organization, KOC. Now, what are you? I repeat, now, what are you? Got me a little turned up with the whole QB conversation. KOC, what the hell are you? Are you just another mediocre coach who was up under Sean McVay's wing for years? Are you just another piss poor play caller caught in his ego and doesn't want to give up play calling? Or are you a real winner? Or was that Super Bowl all a hype? Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. Here we go. Tech in the building. My dog Tech in the building. What up, Holmes? Heavy, man. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. He said, man, get this baloney coach out of here. Win a playoff game. Otherwise, shut your mouth and handle your business. I'm allergic to this. He said, I'm allergic to this man BS. Oh, man. He said he allergic to KOC BS. Oh, man, dog. Here we go. This man dodged the QB question again, EJ. Don't let him off the hook. Come on, Tech. Stop it, bro. Stop it. You know how I get on, dog. Here we go. Stop playing, boy. Stop playing. Maybe we should start calling this clown Solid Shooter. Here we go, man. SKOL VIKES, man. Here we go. Hey, put up or shut up, KOC. For real, man. Hell yeah.
4+ years now of being the head coach here, couldn't have felt more comfortable every day in a job that challenges you for sure. But to have Rob Brzezinski as part of the kind of livelihood of the Minnesota Vikings is how I look at it. He bleeds purple. He loves this organization. He loves our fans. He loves our ownership. He loves our players. Loves our coaches, and you feel that from him every single day. And just his ability to already form that with Nolan, and Nolan made it, a point as almost all the candidates did, of just Rob's value in our organization, and the good thing that's come about that for many years around here, he's kind of just like to chuckle and call himself the cap guy, And every single time, you know, I think not only myself, ownership, our fan base, we're all trying to tell him, we all know you're more than that, so stop just saying that. And I think that was felt throughout, you know, that beginning process all the way through where we are. I know Nolan's going to lean on him. I will continue to lean on him daily. He's got so much experience and so much knowledge, and just really excited about the opportunity to get to, you know, work daily with not only those two guys and with Nolan as our leader, but everybody in our organization. And now we go through the process to see what that in totality will look like.
All right. So there, boom, there it is. That's pretty much it for the Nolan Teasley presser. That's KO. You know, KOC gonna talk. KOC is pretty much put up or shut up for KOC at the end of the day. But this is the crossroads right now, per se, for the Vikings right here. Like I've been saying, it's the new era within the new era, but now the official new era has begun. Now, the question is, how does it pan out from here? Teasley will play a major role. The Wilfs will play a major role. KOC will play a major role, definitely, bro. Even Flores, you got to throw Flores in the mix for sure. But how will they handle the situation? Will it really be? Will it be real positive communication, real collaboration, bro, where everybody's involved? But at the end of the day, they understand Nolan Teasley has the final say. You know, will KOC really be able to sit back and listen? He just said that trumped up shit right there, but come on, let's be honest, bro. You know, and I know KOC has never wanted to listen to no damn body. Period, bro. No cap. You know it. I know it. So, can KOC continue to grow and get out of his ego and listen, take advice, etc.? But the two major things, draft, relationships, bro. Draft and their relationships, period. You know, if they have disagreements, if they bang sometimes, so what? And can they get over it and get through it? Because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal should be Super Bowl, and that's it. Yeah, Super Bowl, and that's it, bro. Period. Anything less is what? Uncivilized. Come on, bro. We go. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. Haley in the building. Haley K. Jensen in the building. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Let's get it. Bro, are you excited about Murray? Kyler Murray? No, why would I be? For what? Oh, you must be new to the pod. You must be new to the pod, Haley. You better understand what territory you're in, huh? What realm you're in, huh? For real. No disrespect to Kyler Murray. I have no disdain or hate for the man, but at the end of the day, it's Team 9 round yonder, period. I want Murray to win. I want McCarthy to win. Matter of fact, I hope McCarthy schools this dude, no doubt. You know? But hey, Haley, if Kyler Murray is the best man for their job, may their best man win. I'll be rooting for him right there, rooting for him and the Vikings, same way. But understand this Team 9 round yonder. McCarthy has been mistreated since day one. Day one. So yeah, for sure. Yeah. Am I excited? No. Do I really care? No. Do I really care? No. I just want it to be a real competition, a fair competition, and a real QB battle. That's it. That's all. And like I say, may the best man win. So we're going to see, Haley. We're going to see. What about the Mexico game against the Niners? Definitely excited about that. Definitely excited about that, Haley. No doubt. Not too far away. They can still adjust. You know, they ain't got to put their bodies through no crazy time frame adjustments type shit. So I'm cool, real cool with the Mexico game. Give them more exposure. I'm sure what the Wolves want. But hey, guess what? Winning, Haley, right? Winning, Haley, baby, gives you more exposure off the rip. Super Bowl playoff run, etc. Yeah, you want the world to know about you, different countries to know about you, huh? Go win the big game. Or go make a playoff run, playoff push, dog. For real. We talking about exposure. What the hell is exposure if it's detrimental to your squad? Let's get it. So I'm gonna get into some OTA news, but like I say, man, you know, this is it right here. Which direction will the Vikings go? Which direction will they go? Main question. And it's all gonna be about drafting from here on out. See, you know, one thing about Nolan Teasley's situation, it's a little different than Quasi's. Quasi pretty much came into a messed up situation for sure. Roster, cap space, all that. So you got to give him some credit around there. But Nolan Teasley, you know, as far as situation set up, right? The way he's been set up, Rob Brzezinski left him in a great place, set him up very well. Nice draft, solid roster, playoff roster, this and that. So Nolan Teasley came into a pretty good situation. Now, can he elevate the situation right now? You know, can he go make it even better? That's it. That's all. We're going to see, though. We're going to see for sure. Let's get it. Then we're going to check out a little bit of OTA highlights if there is any. Then I'm going to get up out of here, man. Hey, make sure you put your questions, comments, opinions in the chat. You know, answer them before I roll out for sure. But yeah, man, a lot going on. I repeat, a lot going on in Minnesota. Oh yeah. Hold on though. Hold on. So we got any new things here? That's pretty much the old John. See what this one is here. I think the Vikings may be posting these certain videos later as well. Posting them, taking them down, posting them at a later time type shit. Hey, man, all fair play, all fair ball, no doubt. We're going to get to it, though, for sure. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Yeah.
Like you do. Try Just for Men Control GX Gray Reducing Shampoo.
Oh, man, do you know it? Can you smell it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? OTA is here. Football in the air. Football in the air. Oh, man, it feels so good. Feels so damn good. Let's get to it. Hold up. My boy 9 Holmes, 9 in the building. You know, what's up, 9? You ready now? What up, boy? What up, my dog? What up, my brother? Huh? You ready, boy? Lock in, 9. Come on, man. No cap. Here we go. Shout out Brosmer and Murray in the building, too. Shout out Brosmer and Murray in the building, too. Uh-oh, Jettas, huh? Jettas. Ain't nobody better than Jettas. Let's work, man. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Hey. Hey. Or not. Miles Price with the footwork. I repeat, Miles Price with the footwork. Aaron Jones, what up, man? Aaron Jones, what up, man? You will not be the starter this year, but will you be a solid backup heavy? I repeat, Aaron Jones, you will not be the starter this year, right? But will you be a solid back up? Hold up. Is that the young rookie? Is that Bredesen? I repeat, is that Bredesen? Here we go, man. Let's get it. JM in the building. JM in the building. Can you be better in coverage this year, JM? Let's get it. You know, Jettas can't no receiver. Can't no cornerback guard Jettas one-on-one the whole game, period. Here we go. Oh, Big Red with the swim. Big Red with the big swim. Oh, yeah. Hey. Let it fly, Nine. Let it fly. Josh Oliver in the building. Big boy. Go block, boy. Go block. Let's get it. Physical ball, murder, ball. Hey, Murray in the building, may the best man win. I repeat, may the best man win. No disdain for Murray, no hate for Murray. Heavy. Do I think he a punk chump? Hell yeah. For the way he viewed and what he said about the whole situation, about McCarthy in general and many. But hey, if he wins, he wins. May the best man win early. No doubt. SKOL VIKES. Here we go. Yeah. Chuck D, hold on. Chuck D. Make some noise, Chuck D. Yeah. Swaggy. Oh, looking spectacular. Oh man, he's locked in. He's so locked. And oh, come on. Huh? You feel it? Huh? Oh, whoa, is that is that the play right there? Is that the Lawson guy right there? UDFA, tall as hell, athletic, heavy. Is that him? Do the Vikings have a steal for real? Here we go. DT, Dallas Turner, man. Roll Tide full of pride. Roll Tide full of pride, baby. Dallas Turner, he gonna step up for real. It's time for him to step up and elevate for real. Here we go. No more JG, DT. No more JG. Are you the man? I repeat, are you the man? Time will tell. Time will tell. Hell, Roll Tide full of pride. Let's go. Come on, DT. Word. Hey. Yes, sir. And that's pretty much it right there. And that's pretty much it for the live as well, dog. But I feel real good, once again, real good about this Minnesota Vikings GM hire. I think Nolan Teasley brings a certain energy, a real energy, what the Vikings need, etc. I feel like all that favoritism, politics, bullshit, no bullshit will be out the door. I don't care what relationships, prior relationships, whatever. I think Nolan Teasley will stand on his word, principles, and business. And that's what you need out of your GM. I don't care if it's arguments, damn near fights. Come together. The main goal is win a Super Bowl, period. Come together and win the Super Bowl. Will he be a dynasty? Will he build a dynasty? Is the dynasty coming, man? For real. Hey, fire the chat up, like the chat up. Let me know in the chat and the comments as well. Are the Vikings on the road? Is Nolan Teasley on the road to building a real dynasty? You know it. I know it, man. Here we go. Matter of fact, before I roll out, let me check something right quick. Sure, it's nothing there, Make sure, huh? Type shit. No, we good. I got it. But like I say, bro, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with any and everybody you know for sure. Support the channel, support the grind. Why not? It takes less than 1 second. You support the fake already. Support the real for real. SKOL VIKES, bro. Big SKOL here. Win, lose, or draw. SKOL VIKES, win, lose, or draw. But we come to win. Down at the levee. We going fishing at the levee. SKOL VIKES, man. We run the north. Believe that.